Dealing with car trouble is stressful enough, and if you wind up in the mechanic shop without much car knowledge, you can be at a serious disadvantage. Jackie Denker has tips to make sure the person who's supposed to fix things doesn't break the bank.
Car trouble happens, but we're about to prep you with some tools that will make your next trip to the auto shop stress-free.
Most people don't want to hear this, but the reality is that us as the consumers, we're enabling the bad mechanic to be bad because we're not taking the time to empower ourselves with the fundamentals of basic car ownership.
Shahei Kalukian, owner of Masvo Auto Car Care Center, has you covered with some tips to protect you and your wallet. First, know that being a proactive car owner is key.
Be proactive, not reactive.
Because if you wait for last-minute trouble to make your way to an auto shop,
now you're in the hands of someone you don't know anything about. You have no idea what their business practice is like.
Instead, build a rapport with a go-to shop. Because in a similar way that your primary doctor knows your medical history, your chosen shop will know your car history.
So if the mechanic has good rapport with you and you have that relationship with open dialogue and trust, he knows and you know, hey, remember 2 oil changes ago you told me about my brakes? Well, I'm ready, I saved some money, let's do it.
And in order to find that trustworthy shop, you'll want to know how to decipher online reviews.
Online reviews are nice and they're real, but there's a lot of them that are purchased.
His advice? Read the top 3 or 4 negative reviews and the top 3 or 4 positive reviews, which will help you identify which reviews seem off.
It's because sometimes consumers will give a bad review based on someone looking at them the wrong way, or the receipt was crumpled, or my car had a finger stain. So just read the 4 bad, 4 good, and make the best decision for yourself.
And remember, word of mouth is still most effective.
I want to go someplace from the horse's mouth that says, I used this guy for a whole 2 years. He's solid. Online review is just basically words put into a paragraph and you take it for what it's worth. It's good, but use your own judgment.
Finally, we help you know if you're being charged fairly with some tips to avoid upsells.
Upsells come from, again, not being empowered and being your own first line of defense.
He recommends taking the time to know your owner's manual, which tells you how often you need oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Also important to keep track of receipts after every service.
Put everything in a folder. If you're someplace new or a new mechanic tells you, oh, you need this, all you gotta do is go back to your receipts and reference and say, wait a minute, I did that at 30, I'm only at 35, why do I need to repeat the 30 all over again in just 5,000 miles? I think you're trying to upsell me.
Don't sweat your next mechanic's shop visit with these helpful tips.